Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Monster Hunter World live stream. We're back on the Xbox once again. Of course, it was supposed to be PlayStation's turn, but we're having a private stream with, he's called Cheese in Discord. What is he called in here? I think he said his name was, it's Cheez-Its. Here it is. Cheez-Its is having us do a private stream. We're going to help him grind up to Master Rank 100. And so basically, he's just sponsored the stream. It wasn't like a big donation or anything. We're just going to be playing with him. He'll be setting the quests up, and so every single round of the quests is going to be me and Cheez-Its. Those are the only rules. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of background music, man. I'll get some background music turned on. Feeling like some background music. Let's listen to, oh my god, old school RuneScape. What else we got? Jack Stabber Buttercup. Man, I need to take a day and just like improve my music library. It's been a while, you know? I used to do it all the time. I used to work on what music I had, and I just haven't done that in a while. I really ought to. Hello's my computer. Here we are. All right. Sweet. I only send small peepees. How's it going, Omelet? Fabled says, hello everyone. How's it going? How do you have progression build for Insect Glaive? I do not have a progression build for the Insect Glaive, but it would look probably very similar to what you might have seen with my longsword video. I am Flurgang. I have the big peepee. Bernie-san. Bernie-san? We don't need a... I can't believe you guys have Joe Biden on the left. He's such a bad candidate. I can't believe he might actually win, too. It's so shocking. Oh, man. Bernie-san. How's it going, Cole? I don't know what I'm talking about, but I live in Europe. How's Europe doing? Is Europe doing well? The army is assembling. Elytron soon coming. Oh, that's right. So a little bit of update on Elytron. Apparently Elytron is going to be launching in early July. Nobody really knows what that means. It could be closer to the middle of July. It could be the first day of July. So we don't have a hard date as far as I know. If somebody does have a hard date, let me know. But I didn't see one. So we're still waiting to find out an exact launch date, but they said early July, so we finally have an actual date. All right. So let's see if Cheez-Its has posted a quest yet. Choose join quest. No quests. Okay, cool. So the way it works, guys, is if there's too many people in here, he's got to give you the boot so I can join. I'm going to go ahead and collect the daily bonus. Large barrel bomb. Well, I've got so many large barrel bombs now. Cole says, your honest opinion, will Elytron be something new and fresh or just a reworked skeleton without much new stuff? It will very likely be a reused skeleton with a whole variety of already seen moves, and most likely there'll be a few new moves as well. That is probably what we're getting. Do you remember the Behemoth when he came out? I mean, many of the Behemoth's moves already existed in the game. And he just seemed kind of like, you know, Nergigante or something. He was, his body type, he was larger, sure, but I mean, it wasn't like an unusual skeleton, but it was still a terrific fight because of the interesting mechanics in the game. Remember that? So the mechanics in the game is what made it so good, and they need to copy that all over again. So they need to have, let me think about it. You know, with Behemoth, what did they have? They had a one-shotting mechanic. I thought that was really important for making the Behemoth feel like a boss. So hopefully Elytron has some kind of one-shotting mechanic. Also, the fact that you kind of had to play as a team rather than just everyone dealing damage, I thought that was very raid-like, you know what I mean? So hopefully they copy that as well. Both of those things are real important to making the fight feel like a true end-game fight. It's got to be tough. It's got to be tough, and it's got to be full of new moves we've never seen before, and especially some interesting mechanics that you can't figure out on the first day. If you can figure out the mechanics of the fight in like 50 seconds, then it's not a very... I mean, it could still be a good fight. Honestly, some of the best fights are not too complicated, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, maybe worst case scenario, they just literally copy and paste them from the previous games. That would probably be a worst case scenario for veterans, because they're going to play it, they're going to be like, that's cool. And then they're going to get the armor, and they're going to get the weapons, and they're going to be like, all right, I'm done. So who knows? But you know what else? Remember, with the data mining, they found that frozen Barioth. What do you call that? The frozen Barioth icon. And so we're probably getting a frozen Barioth variant pretty soon. Maybe we'll get that before we get Elytron. We don't know. We're waiting probably on a developer diary They announced basically that they're back to work and that the government of Japan have lifted the restrictions on working due to COVID, right? So they're back to work, and it's just been several wasted weeks. Really, the viewership for this game has fallen off dramatically. Oh no. People aren't even watching this on Twitch so much anymore. So that's not good. I think it actually damaged their game. Isn't that sad? Because Electron was already scheduled to have launched. So they are off schedule now. But I'm sure when Electron comes out, if the fight is a really good knockout fight, people will be interested and they'll turn their Monster Hunter games back on. You know, especially now that they've had a short little break. It's still the basics of Monster Hunter are still pretty solid, so I'm not too concerned about it. We've been playing some Minecraft Dungeons in the meantime. You guys might have seen me play some Minecraft Dungeons. It's a fun little arcade game that used up some of my time. It passed the time a little bit. I'm still enjoying it actually, but I didn't play it. Did I play it yesterday? Yeah, I played it yesterday. I didn't play it last night. I was doing a bunch of work on my card channel. Dude, my card channel takes up a lot of time now. I was going through... There's a PSA return coming, I believe, tomorrow, and it's got like 100 cards in it. And so I was going through the list, organizing whose cards was whose. It took me like 2 to 3 hours to do that. I didn't even get the shipping done. There's shipping to do. I'm going to get like 7 hours of shipping done soon. And then also, what else do I got to do? There was one more thing. There's just so much to do between the two channels. It's crazy. I could be making videos on this channel all day long if I wanted to. I almost wish I had like a whole crew of people working with me on the content and all that, but I've tried that before. It's actually really still quite challenging. Yeah, there's some opportunity. I ought to make some commentaries and hand them off to the guy who does the editing for me. He hasn't done anything for me in a long time. I wonder if he misses it. I just haven't handed him off any commentaries. Alright, this weapon's still not augmented. Silly me. Hello there, just passing by to say thanks for your Monster Hunter World video. Helps a lot for a new player. I'm glad to hear that, man. Frozen Barrieth ain't hype for me, says ES. Oh, he's hype for me. I think that he could be... There's a lot of potential with Frozen Barrieth. I actually always consider... Oh, right, we have Rocksteady on. It doesn't even matter. I always considered Barrieth to be one of the more fun fights in the game. I thought between Tigrex, Nargacuga, and Barrieth, that I thought Barrieth was the most fun. So I am actually looking forward to a Frozen Barrieth, assuming he's in the game. But I mean, if they're already done with the icon, how can you not believe that he's going to be in the game? Of course he's going to be in the game. One, two. You gotta get mad. Oh. Oh. TGC, what switch X are you using? Probably just the Safajiva switch X. I'm getting my switch X practicing. We were playing switch X all... Hold on. We were playing switch X the other day versus Safajiva. One, two. I feel like understanding the switch axe is actually mostly about knowing when you should morph. Oh, how did that miss? That's sad. He's coming down, right? What's he doing? Is he exhausted? You switch when you need to get a good roll in. That's what I've discovered. Like, if you can determine when you think the monster is going to attack, you can swap back to the axe mode, and then you'll get, you know, the regular iframe dodge, and that's really quite useful to be able to know when to swap between the two. 100 watching, 15 likes. What the heck, guys? What do I pay you guys for? Maybe they'll bring back snowman status. I said a long time ago that back when I played GU, I was like, if they don't have snowman status in Iceborne, that it was going to be a big loss, and they didn't. They really should have. Snowman status was one of the funniest things in the game. It seems like it wouldn't even be that hard for them to do, right? Like, they actually have sort of like snowman status, right? With the snowball game that they have in this game. Oh wait, he doesn't roar. Let's grab this tail. Oh, alright, we're jumping off. I started using the F-Jang heavy bow gun. Sticky build when I saw yours. Thanks for the build. No problem, man. You got roar. Boop. One, two, three. Take this off real fast. Did you ever experiment with power prolonger on the switch axe? I never did. I never did. I ought to. It seems like it could be useful for a build where you're real. Ooh, he's coming back down. It could be useful for a build where maybe you're trying to spam the clutch claw. Let's get that leg. We want to cause a trip on the leg. He can't find his target. Nice. Oops. Getting tripped there. The blade mode of the switch axe. What? What about the blade mode of the switch axe? Can you do hammer next? I could. That is possible. I started using the F-check. Reading through your messages. I do love Barrieth, but I'm just tired of Monster Hunter constantly relying on redoing an existing monster. Yeah. You're preaching to the choir, basically. Elytron seems to have a super move where it detonates all its elements at once, so that'll be cool. Yeah, for sure, man. Maybe we go back to GU and fight Elytron once or twice. Ow. What did I get hit by? Did I still get hit by him? I don't understand. Dude. What the frick, man? That's cheating. Ow. I wanted to try and use the back. Oh, and I'm KO'd. That's not good. Oh, big waste. Terrible timing. Let's get this leg softened again. Alright, we're making the use of traps. It's really important to probably get your use out of the traps before he makes it to the last stage, you know? We're kind of in a dangerous spot. Let's go ahead and get this Mega Potion. It's hard to recreate a level of intensity as Black Elder Dragons. Brandon says, "Where my Charge Blade pre-Elytrium build video?" I've just been really busy. I don't know what to say. It's something that I don't want to make lightly. I kind of want to experiment a little bit, and my second channel keeps me really busy. That card channel actually eats up a lot of my time, and we have a lot of fun over there. I'm legit running like I'm legit trying to start to run a card store. I'm trying to get a whole bunch of PSA cards sent out to PSA and then returned and then listed on eBay. My goal is to get like maybe 100 cards listed on eBay at the same time, but my God, between the two YouTube channels, I don't get a chance to do anything, it feels like. And like helping out with the Discords a little bit too. It's a lot of work. Just tell my wife, I'll be like, you know what? I don't got time for this. I gotta get back to work. I like in Base World where it was 15 old monsters and 15 new monsters. Base World. Let's get this leg here. Don't do it. Oh, he's being knocked down. That's what's going on. I didn't understand. 1, 2, 3. Get this max potion. Don't hurt me, Mr. Barrios. Oh, and he is down. Nice job. Nice job on the knockdown. What's up, Gameconomist? Having a problem with my Xbox. After I pick the language and region, then put in my internet password, it takes me back to region it again. Can you help me with this problem? I most certainly cannot. I am not an expert on fixing your Xbox problems. I'm an expert on shooting sticky ammo with the sticky heavy bowgun. I can help you with that. Where's my... Just turn this Astera jerky on. There we go. Do you have flash pods? I'm concerned because it's about time for him to like freak out and blow everything up. Yeah, that hurts. No, actually, it didn't hurt that much at all. Nice. That Divine Blessing proc, man. Barely took any damage. World was basically akin to Pokemon XYZ, moving the monsters into real high def with new graphics and behaviors. Future games will have an easier time building on what they've set up. Yeah, hopefully. Congrats on almost 130,000 subs, by the way. That's right, guys. We're 500 subscribers away from reaching 130,000. We're well on our way to 200,000, really. Restarting your Xbox works 99% of the time. What? Any Elatreon news? Yes, Capcom has announced that Elatreon will be arriving in early June, but they have not given us an actual date. So you get a roll with that, but you get a forward hot with the sword. See? Small things you gotta know. Very interesting. That morph is so important. What'd we get? Hey, we got an immortal reactor. Sweet. We've been running this whole time with no health regen augmentation. We should go get a health regen augmentation. So, what would you guys like to talk about? Let's have a chat. Tell me about your woes, your hardships in life. I'm Dr. Economist, free therapy. To quote the IT crowd, I'm already subbed, so I can't help. Early July, not June. Did I say June? I'm sorry, God Boy. They said that Elatreon's coming early July. My bad. I probably did say June. Early July. We're in June. What's the hype about Elatreon? I haven't watched the trailer or whatever it is yet. There's no trailer. If there was a trailer, I'd probably be working on that. So let's go ahead and choose Augment Equipment. We're going to remove... And then we're going to augment this one with the health regen. And actually, why don't we go ahead and choose upgrade. You cannot upgrade this until you remove the layered weapon settings? Wait, what? Can you not upgrade weapons while they're layered? I didn't know that. What? That's stupid. The game's like, nah, it has to look like a Sophajiva weapon in order to upgrade it. Oh my god. What do I think is next after Elatreon? They will probably have... If they're not going to release Frozen Barioth before him, then they're going to release Barioth after him. And then the other thing I think we'll get is the rest of the Arch-Tempered Elder Dragons. And who knows, maybe like Arch-Tempered Silver Rathalos, Arch-Tempered Gold Raytheon, Arch-Tempered, Furious Rajang. So we might get those who, they're not actually Elder Dragons, and that'll be interesting. And then finally, we'll probably get like one more boss type. They're all speculating, oh, it's going to be an older boss. Like Fatalis or something like that. So it will probably be something like that. But who knows? Maybe they'll support the game really, really hardcore late into the release of the next consoles. I think likely not. Probably what they'll do, if I had to guess, probably what we'll see happen, we'll probably see the launch of Iceborne on the Nintendo Switch. And we'll probably see them announce a new game for the next generation consoles, and then we'll probably get support for a while for this game, but I think this game's mostly done. I think after Elytron, we'll just have Fatalis and that's it. Is this... That's Milia. Cheese, if you want me to join, you gotta give somebody the boot. Give him the boot! Let me try to join in. Let's see. Yay! He got the boot! Arch-tempered Kushala Daora. I know. Nobody plays Kushala Daora as it is. Nobody gives two craps about Kushala. Maybe they'll release Rusted Kushala? I don't know. I don't know what's in the books for them. How about Frozen Barioth will be scrapped and will never come? Probably not. I mean, if they already worked on his icon, they probably are already far... They're probably very close to releasing a Frozen Barioth. I'm having a hard time sleeping at night due to all the crickets chirping at night. That's annoying. Arch-tempered Furious Rajang one-hit KOs with this swing's murder. I want him to pick up a rock and then basically snipe you with it. Like, throw it so fast, you have to dodge. There's nothing else you can do other than iframe through it. Iframe through it or guard, I suppose. I want Extreme Elytron. What the heck, Capcom? Give me that Extreme Elytron. And Arch-tempered Chari Ishvalda. Hello. We need some Arch-tempered Chari Ishvalda already. Arch-tempered Nergigante. Arch-tempered Ruiner Nergigante. He better actually be difficult. It's sad that the Ruiner Nergigante feels easier than the base game Nergigante. He doesn't feel evolved at all. He actually feels like he must have devolved, because he's easier now. Need a Brack Pallium. Sounds good. Let's keep going. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Oh, I'm so comfy. Oh, dear. Oh dear. Better idea for Rajang. Rajang, pick up the handler and throw after you. That's right. Rajang picks up the handler and throws her so fast and so hard that she liquefies midair, and then if her broken liquefied body hits you, it's instant KO, instant death. And then you never the handler's out of the game. Actually, what if the handler died? Think about it. What if they had like a DLC where she actually like literally like passes away, dies? That would add like so much gravity to the game that it does not have currently. It would be like Game of Thrones or something like that, you know what I mean? You'd be like, oh shit, stuff is serious. The way it is now, it's so unserious, it's sad. Alright, here we are. So we're going to beat up this Raging Brachydios and get the Pallium. The Pallium, I say. Got this. Put on this Rocksteady now. Brrr. Bitch, I don't care. Oh, he's in trouble. Let's go ahead and soften some places up. I can see we have a wait a second, he's just using sticky, never mind. I was gonna be like, yeah, I need some softening on the tail. Brrr, he's so mad. Oh, how did we miss both of those? I don't know about how I feel about getting the overhead slam. I'm dead. Got it. Do it. Nice job. Oh, darn it. Nice job. I didn't mean to do that. Nice. Did you see that? We're gonna get hit by that. Yeah, we are. Darn it. The handler dying would be like Kenny dying in South Park. You killed Kenny. Dude, this guy moves way too much. Hold still so we can beat you up. I feel like I'm not getting any damage on him. Jesus got smacked. Dude. Let's go ahead and reset this real fast. Use a trap, boy. I thought about it. I was gonna save it for the stage with the lava spout, which just seems like a smarter idea. Alright, he's off. Oh! He thinks he's off. I need a pot. Like this one right here. Don't do it. Oh my god, he knocked me down. Okay, well. Stop moving. He's got it. Two, three, four. I'm gonna blow up in a second. There we go. Oh, nice. That sucks. I hate how you get knocked away and then you're not actually able to grab with the zero sum. I feel like I would be better off just grabbing on with the claw and then using zero sum. Doop. Gotta contribute to that mounting damage. Who is tree and why are so many outside my house? That's right. There's many tree. Let's get down here. Fighting someone slow like Dodogama spamming wild swing is kind of OP. Did you just call Dodogama slow? That's really rude, actually. Oh, I don't have any traps. That's sad. Let's get this leg softened. He's gonna jump. Yep. Watch him jump again. Yep. The fuck, dude? Dude! This guy's annoying, man. No, I don't want the tail. God damn it. Oh, no. Are we having a lag out moment? Don't do it, Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its, don't do it. Oh, no. Oh, no! Jesus has left the online session! No! Alright, we'll wait for him to come back. We'll keep beating up on this guy in the meantime. Why do I even bother grabbing him? There is just no point. You can grab a monster all day long. You're never going to actually land the claw attack. Oh, I thought I put on a flash pod. Oh, he's paralyzed. Waste of a flash pod. Someone signed into my account. Oh, that sucks. Damage taken was reduced. Oh, lovely. I explode. Well, there's not even a way for me to get out of that animation. He's so angry. I forgot he turns on the last one. I'm not gonna let you get the chance. PC disconnects the most, says God Terrorboy. Well, he didn't even. He's saying he didn't disconnect from internet. He disconnected because somebody logged in. I remember that. That would happen to me when I was younger. I lived at home. That was a long time ago, actually. Oh my god. Uh-oh. I think he's gonna get thrown into a wall. One, two, three. What the frick, dude? What the frick? Mount this guy. Mount this motherfricker. Oh my god, he gets away with no mount. Oh my god. What the hell? Yeah, that's right. You bitch. Don't do it. Oh, of course he did it. Of all the moves he could have used, he decides to use Horn Attack. This is why nobody likes Clutch Claw. Because the monster needs to be softened and you don't have your mantle on. And that means you're like 50% guaranteed. 60%, it works every time. You're like 50% odds that he's going to use a move that's going to freaking waste you. You know what I mean? And they're going to be like, why am I playing this? That's what you're going to ask. You're going to be like, why am I doing this? It makes no sense. Booped your snoot. What the hell did I deflect? Must have deflected. A donation. Max Kalina, thank you so much, man. TUC, get the Switch X guard, gauge up, put on Temporal or Rocksteady, and spam zero sum all day. Sounds good, man. Let's do it. Alright, so we've got this. Oh, but I'm going to get smacked first. But that's okay, because we have Divine Blessing Secret, and we don't take any damage. Let's put on the Rocksteady. We're going to grab him by the face. And zero sum. And have somebody else heal us. And grab him again. Oh, that's the explosion. Let's see if I die. Woo! Still alive. That Divine Blessing Secret, man. Oops, that's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to use this. You know, I didn't feel like it was that strong. I felt like it was just okay, you know what I mean? You do a lot of damage on the ground not using the clutch claw. The time it takes to claw onto the monster actually takes a little while, you know what I mean? So if you just stay on the ground and keep attacking, that's pretty good damage too. I actually should watch some speedruns with this weapon to get a better idea of what the speedrunners do. I'm guessing they don't spam the zero sum. That's just my guess based on how it's feeling, but I need to go watch some Switch X speedruns for sure. Because if they're spamming zero sum, I should be spamming zero sum. So I don't know, this feels like where the damage is at right here. Oh, I thought he was gonna do the thing. Let's get this max potion. Don't do it. Yeah, this right here. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oof. Not Salvia, no! Salvia! What will we do without Salvia? Oh my god. Oh, I'm KO'd. What the hell? How am I KO'd? I don't even remember getting hit. This game cheats. It cheats, I tell you. Get some of that good bud going. Also, where's my blue? Oh, he's just spreading it around. The small ticks from the ZSD has a part breaker multiplicator. What? Multiplier, you mean? I think you mean multiplier. Temporal automatically evades for you, but decreases as time. Rocksteady prevents flinches, whereas tremors from damage and wind pressure. Suicide mantle for the win. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Did I die? Who died? No, I didn't die. I couldn't have died. I was like full health. Somebody else died. That's sad. No, of course it wasn't me because I got that message that said you died. That's my message that I give out when somebody else dies. I think. Right? That couldn't have been me. See, now I'm questioning it. No. If I said you died, that means somebody else died. No luck, run. Let's get Tree back in here now. Rocksteady decreases damage. I know. People kept dying, man. What the heck? Get everyone some mill. They need some mill. A Divine Blessing 5. Let's see. Let's talk to this guy. Get that good bud. And now, is Tree back in here? He should be. Yeah, here it is. Cheese is in here. Cheez-Its.
Nice day, huh?
Alright. Let's join this Wee Lassie's quest. Cool, Steve. Wait. He hasn't posted. Oh. Cheez-Its. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do myself a favor too. I'm going to go ahead and remove some skills. What do we need? Don't need. We need... I would love to have explosion protection. So let's drop jumping expert. And we're going to get blast resist, anti-blast. And we're going to also drop this evasion and get a little more anti-blast. Alright, so now we got the anti-blast going. Alright, that's nice. And Rocksteady Mantle and Temporal Mantle are going to have Recovery Up, which, by the way, if you didn't know, is real strong. Recovery Up is a very strong skill that people don't talk about. Is awesome. Basically, if you already have health regen augmentation on your weapon, it powers up the health regen augmentation, and health regen is OP, which is exactly why they nerfed it, right? Capcom nerfed health regen in this game in Iceborne because they knew it was too strong. So you put on that recovery up, it goes back to being super strong. Wow, the notification for this stream was 30 minutes late. YouTube really must not like TGE. Oh, who knows why that happens. You know, I think that probably what they do is they make sure that it's a legit stream, right? And that nothing's going wrong. So that's probably it. I'll blast. So maybe what you could do is you can, there's probably a lot of things going on with YouTube. Whoever knows how it works. I don't think they're trying to stop you from joining. They're just, it is what it is. Hey, could you show us your hunter rank? Hunter rank? My hunter rank is 999. My master rank is 448. What's my ID card? I don't know what an ID card is. Hey, could you show us? I already read that one. Where are you from, mate? Are you asking where I'm from? I'm from the United States. I'm from a state called Missouri. We're right in the middle. And it's the most boring state ever. It's one of those states where there's nothing to do in here. You go to Walmart, and then you come home and play video games because there's nothing else to do. He's fairly easy. Furious Raging is more scary. Let's go ahead and hit standby for departure. Stand by for departure. Look at that. We're 40 minutes in and we have 200 viewers, guys. People are truly tired of watching Monster Hunter. That's the best explanation in my opinion. I had 400 viewers the other night for Minecraft Dungeons. Minecraft Dungeons. Oh my god. Over says, hi from Italy. Hello from Italy. YouTube in general has been squirrely. Yeah, I agree. What's my social security number? I know, right? Hey, mister, what's your mom's credit card number? Hayden says, I'm moving to Missouri. Oh, no. Run, Hayden, run! It's definitely a very cheap place to live. So Missouri is ranked one of the cheapest places to live in the United States. So you can come over here and you can buy your little mansion home for a fairly reasonable price compared to the rest of the United States. And you can live in your mansion home in the middle of nowhere and play your video games. So it's good in other ways, you know. Missouri has a lot of, like there's an Amazon place being built. There's more FedEx places and a Best Buy place being built, you know, like a distribution center. So it's very business friendly, Missouri is. They have low business taxes from my understanding. Who knows how long that lasts, but yeah. Good old tax dodging. Who wants to pay taxes when you could keep more of your own money? How cool would that be? Start chopping up this bad guy. Right, kitty? Got my cat right next to me. Have you ever watched the movie Killer Bean? I can't say I have. Dude. Two, one, two, one, two. Oh, we're doing great damage now. I don't know what it is. He's just standing in the right spots for us. Terrorboy, no! What has he dropped? Slinger bomb? Did I get that good slinger? Oh my god. Oh my god. That's okay, we got temporal on. Jesus. Jesus! You're supposed to sit still while I beat you up. This guy doesn't know how the game's played. Look how much we heal up with that health recovery. That's gross. Like, who even needs health potions at that point? All you need is a good round on the monster. Like, look, he's knocked down now. Look at this. Watch this, guys. Healed. Oops. The temporal mantle's dead. Let's go ahead and take this off real fast. I wasn't much in the Minecraft streams. Your opinion in the apocalypse mode difficulty? It starts off feeling real difficult, actually, and for a moment I'm like, oh man, this game's gonna be fun. But then you get better gear and it goes back to feeling kind of like a kiddie game with the bumpers on. So I would say right now Minecraft Dungeons needs a higher difficulty mode where the monsters are truly challenging and you can't just mow through them or it needs some cooler bosses, one or the other. Like, if they're going to be trash mobs, there's got to be some bosses too, that's all. It does start to feel very repetitive pretty fast. So they need more content. More bosses especially. More bosses especially. I'd say. Keep this arm softened. What? How did I miss that? Keep slicing at this leg. That's the trip. Oh, no, that's not a trip. Oh, what the hell? I didn't roll. I side hopped. I wanted to roll. Oh, excellent. Somebody should get a trap out on him next. Dude, I missed again. That zero sum does not easily land. Oh, I don't have traps. I never refreshed my items. I'm stupid. Dude. I wanted it. I'm over it. Hopefully somebody else brought some traps, because I didn't. Yeah, that's right. You better be drilling. He didn't fall all the way down, did he? God, Terrorboy fell all the way down. God, that's dumb. Now would be a perfect time to flash him, too, with him on the hill. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. While you do elemental discharge, you can press the clutch claw button to do a clutch claw attack to latch onto the monster. Oh, so you can clutch claw in the middle. If you've missed the zero sum, you can turn it into a claw attack. That's cool. Alright, we smacked him once. Oh my god. And then he fricked our moms. Why can't I just hit you? We missed out on the mount last time. That was, I don't want to repeat that. Woohoo! We did it! We stole the mount! Go work, everyone. Go work, team. Can we use slinger bombs? Doesn't look like it. Oh, that's torch pod. Those aren't slinger bombs. I'm dumb. He's like, ow. Bro, do gameplay for Sekiro. Bro. Bro! Hey, bro! Bro, get us some of that Sekiro gameplay, bro. Good work, Terrorboy. Softening that head for yourself. Now we can beat him up. Chop his face. Got him. Not this time. Nah, we're not gonna reach it. It's a trap. I think he missed a trap. That sucks. Do I have any flash left? I don't have any flash left. Jeez, it's so sad. The cost explosion by the clutch claw attack deals... Hold on. Oh my god, did I just miss? The cost explosion by the clutch claw attack deals a good chunk of damage and gives a good portion of your amp state. It is a nice way to build up the amp state. Nice. Ouch. Dude. Look at that sweet. Damn, a super sweet. That's right. Oh, he is on the ground. I did not even see that. I was not paying attention. Alright, here the health regen is important too, isn't it? Nice. I'm not sure if I like to power up the axe. They give you that option, but I actually like the slow morph into the into the sword mode, and then because that just deals a ton of damage up front rather than giving your axe a buff, which you shouldn't really be using your axe too much anyways. That's sad. Don't do it, mister. Hey, mister! Dude! Is he gonna hit me? I think it did hit me, but it didn't really do any damage. Between the Rocksteady Mantle and the Divine Blessing secret. He's almost dead. Oh, let's get over there. Oh, he's dead anyways. Doesn't matter. Alright. I think it was definitely much easier to fight him when we put that anti-blast on. I mean, you just have more uptime because you don't have to worry about rolling and you don't have to worry about eating like a nullberry. So anti-blast is really more of a requirement for this fight. There's no way you're not going to get the Scourge Blight when you fight him. You're going to lose you're going to have a lot of downtime trying to heal the Scourge Blight otherwise. Maybe not if you're a speedrunner, but I think regular players should have that anti-blast. I mained Switch Axe for a long time, and one of the things that made me choose a different weapon is how inconsistent your range becomes in sword mode while killing a large and quick monster. Yeah, everything with the Switch Axe is kind of like a high commitment move. There's not a lot of low commitment moves with it. It has pretty good range, I'd say, the attacks do, but the thing it does special, latching onto the monster, seems more like something every weapon can do at this point. So I feel like the Clutch Claw actually reduced something that the Switch Axe was doing that felt unique. What's your build, Law? I'm sure you showed a million times. I'm sorry, Bruno, I could not possibly show the build, for I've shown it a million times. It will be illegal for me to show that build. Killer Bean is an animated masterpiece. 10/10. What? Was wondering if you use Power Prolonger. Yo, get into it. That's right. Oh my god. Let's go remove the weapon augmentation so that I can continue to make this stronger. What level guiding lands for unlocked tempered... What? What's he saying? So let's choose augment equipment, and we're going to remove the layered armor. How do I remove it? Oh, here it is. Reset base. All right. Exhaust file? What? Can't have exhaust file. Sharpness increase 5? Nah, I don't think you need that. What is that with the not giving an attack? Come on, man. I want attack boost. Dude, just give attack increase. Dude, upgrading these weapons is actually not fun. It's very annoying. Fighting Safajiva is a heart attack. It's not actually fun. And they're like, nah, you can't have the thing that you want. Oh my god, dude. Just give me attack increase. How much of my Draculite am I going to throw away so that it can show me all the skills I'm not interested in? Oh my god. Is it because my... Maybe I need to get rid of my defense increase? Oh my dear lord. Here we go. We got rid of all the stored potential. No, I don't want defense increase 6. Sharpness increase 6. It keeps offering it to me. I don't care, man. There we go. Dear God. What the actual frick, man. Oh my god. You don't want to level up that attack increase, do you? No, you couldn't possibly want that. Yeah, of course I want to upgrade it. Dude, I don't want a defense increase too. Oh my god, this Draculite system is so annoying. It's not fun at all. It's like you're gonna run out of Draculite. You're gonna run out of Draculite. You're gonna run out of Draculite. Do more Sophagiva, says God Terror Boy. That's me literally puking at that suggestion. I just puked up my dinner, my lunch, my supper. Hey, there we go. I'm on my way, Cheez-Its. You need to get rid of exactly 69 Draculite for you to get attack increase 5. Dude, it's so stupid. The whole system's terrible. Here, fight this annoying monster. Okay, how do we fight it? By doing exactly what you did with Kulve Taroth. You just break his parts. Alright, but is it more fun than Kulve Taroth? Nope, it's actually literally got fewer, less interesting mechanics. We couldn't give you the Gatling gun that we had in the campaign mode. You literally just chomp on a reddish looking Xeno'jiiva. He looks worse than the cool alien Xeno'jiiva. And once you've broken his parts, you can go watch this stupid game give you everything you want except for everything you didn't want except for the attack upgrade increase that you did want. It's like, oh, okay, that's fun. That's nice. Is it worth it to spend all night grinding for Raging Bracky reactors, or are there weapon classes of his I can skip? You can skip as many of his weapons as you want because the Sophagiva weapons offer basically the same thing. So, you know, if you want to go after his reactors for a particular weapon, you could do that. I would not really worry about it otherwise, though. I would pick up a few reactors and call it a day. You know, I farmed every single every single Raging Brachydios weapon in this game. I took like, it was like a 12-hour stream or something like that I did this, and it was like 8 hours or something. So we did like an 8 to 12-hour stream where we got every single one of his weapons together, and by the end of it, I was like, what was the point of that? I don't know if I cared. Yeah, we got all the weapons in one stream, and it was just okay. Damn, if you hate the game so much, don't play it. You just roasted it heavy. Well, of course I roasted it heavy. It's so... I actually preferred the Kulve Taroth system where you just got the random already created weapon. And so with the Sophagiva weapon, it just, your reward feels so generic. You get like this generic Draculite, and then you just burn through Draculite until attack increase shows up. Well, that's probably what's so frustrating about it is you're literally just putting attack increase on the weapon. You know what I mean? This game has a serious problem with that. People are like, how should I build my weapon? Yeah, just put attack increase 5 on it. You're done. You know what I mean? That's a real problem in this game. It's not really that much variety is the reality. You would think that there would be some build variety, but there's not actually. You have a few options. You got like 3. And I don't hate the game. I'm not a big fan of Sophagiva. I think, unfortunately, with Iceborne, I think that Sophagiva was not very well designed, and I think that the guiding lands were a big waste. Not a big fan of either of those things. They took forever bringing out Elytron. I wish that we had Arch-Tempered Shara Ishvalda in the first month. First month, Arch-Tempered Shara Ishvalda. That's their best monster in this game. And then Elytron probably should have come out about 2 months ago, probably. Xeno Final Form is made for TV, 8-hour long, Adam Sandler. What? I enjoy the game, but I can't not get burnt out from it. Yeah, well, and that's a good point, actually. Maybe you should point out the fact that I'm not the only one who is not extremely enjoying Safajiva, you know what I mean? Oops, that sucks. Everyone's sad. Put this on real fast. Oh, that hurts really bad. Please don't do it again. I'm probably gonna die here. Come on. What are you doing? You gotta get KO'd in a second here. I'd watch that. Wait, I thought you said Adam Sessler. Did you hear that Elytron is coming out early June? Yes, I did hear about that. We have mentioned it several times in the live stream. Oh, give me a break. We're in the wrong spot. Don't do it. Soften this leg up. Use the power axe to trip this sucker. The power axe. I won't do it. I refuse. Oh my god, I can't believe the explosion would reach me over there. That's crazy. Early June or early July? Early July. Did I say June? I understand what you're saying, but the build variety is a lot deeper in my opinion. What are you talking about? You have your choice of optimizing damage with Master's Touch or optimizing damage without Master's Touch. That's your whole build variety in this game. That's it. You have your choice between Crit Eye, Crit Boost, and what is it, Agitator Secret, or building Explosive on the few weapons that can go explosive. It's virtually almost every single build takes the Agitator Secret. I'm trying to think of actually any build variety. There's very little build variety. Build variety in this game is, do you want Divine Blessing Secret? And that's about it. Do you want to add some Anti-Blast? I don't know. I might just go full damage. There is not build variety in this game. Actually, I started putting together Divine Blessing 5 builds on these pre-Elytron setups, and people were mad at me. They were mad because I'm not building Master's Touch. That's how much of a build variety there is. People are like, you don't even need that, just go Master's Touch. People are mad because there's no Master's Touch. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and sharpen. It's July, he just keeps saying June on accident. Sorry about that, guys. It is early July. If you've done a wild axe, swing 3, hit triangle, and you will charge the axe, then it will trip and break parts easier. FYI. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing that. I've tried it a few times. It's very slow, and I noticed once it's charged up, I don't actually really use the axe mode that much. The reason that you want to be using the sword mode is because once the sword is charged, you get a significant damage boost. So watch, we're charging it right now. Hold on. Nah, we miss. Ouch. Alright, hold on. I gotta actually land some moves with it. Oh, good. He's being thrown into the wall. Excellent job. So look, we could charge it up, or we could use this morph. Check out this morph. Look how much damage this does. So we morph into the sword mode, and now we're getting all the bonus damage from being in the sword mode while it's powered up. If I weren't knocked down. So I have trouble deciding to do that. There we go. See? So we get the little bonus explosion with each swing, and that's actually an important part of your damage. He's going to the next area. Nice job. Nice job on the paralysis. The thing is, I'd much rather... Oh god, are we just not hitting it? Jesus. I'd much rather just be in the sword mode the whole time. Getting that bonus damage. And if you're spending time charging up the axe mode just so that you don't use axe, it's kind of confusing to do that, isn't it? You also have a pretty sweet back axe to relocate. I don't actually find myself using that very often. The relocating doesn't actually give you a lot of space. It takes like one step back, which can be good for respacing if you're trying to continue to attack. But if you're trying to dodge the monster's move, I find that actually just dodging through the move is much safer. You see what I'm saying? So you're just going to get more damage in that way. So right here, check this out. Oh, come on, man. Why is he stepping forward? How are we stuck on his other foot? Oh my god, dude. And we lost our charge. So we could charge up right here, right? Or we could do this. We can morph to the sword for tons of damage. And now we're in the sword mode, charging up the sword mode so that we can get into that bonus, right? Bonus damage from the charge. Oh, they all did it. There we go, there's the bonus damage from the charge now. And I feel like that's actually where you get most of the damage with this weapon. I could be wrong about that. Again, I haven't actually watched any speedruns with the Switch Axe in a while. But I can't tell exactly how important it actually is to charge up the axe, because I don't find myself wanting to use the axe. Do I have one health augment? Yes, I have one health augment. There I am, sharpening the weapon. Let's get this flash pod. We missed that. Go ahead and soften the leg. I will watch some speedruns with this weapon to get a better idea of how experts are using it. People get really excited about this heavy. He's talking about the heavy slam right here. So now that the axe is charged up, we're going to get better damage with the axe. But I don't actually use the axe that much. I only use the axe mode long enough to go back into the sword mode. So and then the charge on the axe doesn't actually last that long, which maybe that's on purpose. Maybe they want you to. Actually, hold on. He's mad. Oh, nope, he got it. Oh, and we're knocked down. Every time I change switch axe, I just spam zero-sum discharge. But you want to use the axe to trip and break parts. Well, that's why I'm trying to figure out, do people actually use the axe? One, two, three. See, I'm just going back into the sword mode to try and get the charge on the sword. I only go into the axe mode long enough to give myself time in the sword mode again. Maybe I'll watch a speedrun right here in the live stream. Switch axe speedrun against Raging Bracadios. Yes, a lot of Switch Axe players do, but I'm not asking about a lot of Switch Axe players. I'm asking about, like, basically the experts. I'm wondering how they play. Because they've probably calculated which moves are doing the most damage. I see speedrunner that trips and locks the monster with the axe. Okay. How's it going, Mary? Oh my god. I started playing heavy bowgun because of your videos. You know, I get that a lot actually. I've heard that a lot. Well, I'm a temperamental real fast. I noticed really nothing on his body's been softened. Oh, he's dead already. Alright, let's jump over to YouTube. I gotta watch a speedrun. Hopefully this doesn't lag you guys out. Suppose it could. I'll try closing Discord too, that might help. I should probably carve him. but I'm too lazy. So we're going to go over to, how about Raging Brachydios Switch Axe Speed Run. Alright, there's a 5-minute speed run. I'm going to go ahead and watch this. Looks like a Japanese player. He's coming in. Looks like I see him using the Safajiva weapon. That's why weapon skins. He just barely gets the second knockdown. Once again, he's not even softening Brachydios, which I find very interesting. Okay, he just softened Brachydios' head. Let's see what he does now. He's putting on Rocksteady Mantle. Rocksteady Mantle, huh? And now he is actually spamming the zero sum with the claw. Interesting. Is he going to do that the whole time? I think he is. Dude, he is spamming the zero sum. Does it really do that much damage? Let's see what he does when Rocksteady ends. I want to see what he does. So hold on. So he goes through Rocksteady. He's not even using his other mantle. Alright, he's in the last stage. He just softened Brachydios' head, and now he's got the temporal mantle on finally. So he was saving the temporal mantle for the last stage, and now he's just spamming. Really? He's just spamming the mantle again. I'm sorry, spamming the zero sum again. So this guy's not even using the axe mode at all. Let's see what his build was. He does have Power Prolonger, so he uses Power Prolonger to... And he has Divine Blessing, by the way, guys. I'd like to point that out. He has Divine Blessing. He's got Attack Boost, Agitator, Crit Eye, Blast Resist, Crit Boost, Weakness Exploit, Power Prolonger 3, Divine Blessing, Health Boost, Slinger Capacity 1. He does that for the double knockdown. Ice Attack, Sophie's Frost Axe. So he's not using a raw damage weapon either. Oh, but this makes sense. He's using the Safajiva Frost Axe because there's no reason to use Safajiva Blast against Raging Brachydios. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. It looks like I need to do more research on using the Switch Axe. ZSD for the win. I get 1900 on the dummy with my average setup. Yeah, some will spam ZSD. Stream the video, no balls. I don't know how to stream the video. In order to stream the video, I would need to be able to put my laptop screen as the output for the live stream, but I've tried doing that and it doesn't seem to work. So I've tried doing that in the past and I can't figure it out. So he got a 5-minute speed run just spamming ZSD. And I was surprised to learn that he was using Power Prolonger, which is something typically I would not run. So let's see, we can actually get rid of the Kaiser Coil and the Kaiser Van Braces. We're going to drop the Golden Loon Helm too. We're going to trade Golden Loon Helm out with the Brachydium Helmet. And this is going to be something else. What is this going to be? Brachydium Braces. And this is going to be Golden Loon Coil. Throw this off. Alright, so we have 7 of those. Alright, give me a second, Tree. I'm going to put this build together real fast, okay? So we know we want Health Boost and Power Prolonger. Oh, that's Focus, actually. Okay, Power Prolonger. Power Prolonger. I'm going to take a 3rd Power Prolonger, probably. I don't know what it's called here or where it's going to be found. Non-elemental boost. Enhancer protection. Health boost. Medicine. Evade window. Tool specialist. Oh, interesting. So I tell you what, let's have one more vitality. And then what we'll do is we'll go in and change the coil out. There's Golden Loon Coil Beta. It's going to give us a large decoration slot. I'll give you 5 seconds. What? Okay, so let's see. We got health boost, power prolonger, weakness exploit. We need crit boost. What do we have for crit boost? I don't think we have any good crit boost decorations. Crit protection, medicine, physique, maintenance. So we're going to go ahead and do regular crit. 1, 2. And that's it, because we don't have any other. So we're going to have medicine then, because I like medicine. So we're going to have crit medicine, crit boost, weakness exploit, health boost, power prolonger. Wait. Oh, I should have looked at the rest of that guy's build. He built anti-blast. Let's get an anti-blast going. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Actually, we'll leave this empty for now. I guess crit eye would be the last thing to build, wouldn't it? Resistor, Drain, Airborne, Fortify, Affinity Slide, Marathon Runner, Stamp Surge, Resuscitate, Evade Extender, yes please. Little Evade Extender is always pretty nice on this. Although, I guess actually Evade Extender is not as necessary if you're just spamming ZSD. Friendship Gobbler, Satiated Grinder, Bomber, Mushroom Master, Stone Thrower. He had a level of Stone Thrower for the double knockdown. That was really specific to the speed run, though, I feel like. You don't need that either. I guess you're just left with a lot of leftover slots, really. Stamp Thief, Airborne, Fortify, Finish Slide, Marathon Runner, Stamp Surge, Resuscitate, Fade Extender, Iron Wall, Offensive Guard. We'll do Wide Range. In multiplayer, Wide Range is pretty OP. This is enough crit eye already. So we're left with a few slots left over. Let's find out what Cheez-Its wants to do.
I've been waiting for you.
Mark of the Sun. So we're fighting Teostra. And so we could do like a hard fire resist and maybe like a stun resist. Alright, let's go ahead and throw in those last few decorations. So the last few decorations can be... Oh, I don't have a hard fire resist. I didn't know that. Wait, don't I? I thought I did. Oh, it's right here. I'm dumb. Drop this real fast. So we have the hard fire resist. The only other thing you would really worry about is probably stun resist. I feel like stun resist would be really good here because if we get thrown off of him a few times, we are definitely just going to be KO'd for sure. So we're just going to do steadfast. He stuns really easily. All right, so we have all the defense we could possibly want, and let's go ahead and eat. Let's just have attack up. Elemental resist skills are useless. They're useless. I don't find them useless at all. I like the fact that they give you blight resist because they actually can save you quite a lot. Not only do they reduce damage, but the fact that they get rid of the blight resist is really convenient as well. I have the Milk Sun. Everything is going to be okay. Oh my god. I have the Milk Sun. Well, let's go ahead and stand by for departure. Here we go. Here we go. Wonder what's happening in the news. You guys want to read some news? Let's see what's happening in the news. It's news time. Trump campaign demands CNN apologize for poll that shows Biden leading. 2020 is off to a horrible start for U.S. elections. All Lives Matter protester reenacted Floyd's death. What? That's CNN News. Wow, CNN News is so angry at the right. I bet that the right's going to be angry at the left. See what the Fox News is. Powerful law enforcement union. Turn off your ad blocker. Vows to sue rioters. What? Obama AG to advise New York as it investigates NYPD. NYC's First Lady says city without police would be ideal. Oh, God. Oh, did you guys hear about this one? So who here knew about the two kids that had gone missing and the parents wouldn't just say where the kids were, and everyone at home is going, those kids are dead. You guys remember that story? That story has been going on for a while. It's a woman and her new boyfriend, and the two children are missing. I think the boy has he has autism or something like that. I can't quite remember. He has an older sister, and the parents just won't say where the kids are. And the court finally said that, there's a court order where you have to show that your children are all right, and they didn't do it. So they couldn't provide evidence that the children are okay. But they've just recently found the remains of the children. So it's one of those, man. Real sad. Remains found at Idaho home are missing kids 7 and 17. The girl was 17 years old. That's crazy. She's basically an adult already. Imagine not being able to trust her. So let's see. I'm going to read the article. You guys ready for this article reading? I know you love article reading. The relatives of cult mom Lori Vallow made the grim announcement Wednesday that the remains found at an Idaho property this week were the children Joshua J.J. Vallow 7 and Tylee Ryan. Oh, I see. Joshua J.J. Vallow 7 and Tylee Ryan 17. Crazy, man. Vallow, the so-called cult mom, was the mother of both missing children. JJ's remains were among those found on Daybell's property. His grandmother, Kay Woodcock, told Fox. Oops, did I just do this? Rexburg police confirmed they found 2 sets of Daybell's property during a search. The special prosecutor handling the case said investigators found the concealment of at least one of the bodies to be particularly egregious. What is that? Daybell and Vallow were married November 2019, a month after Chad Daybell's previous wife died at home. Oh my God. So her ex-boyfriend's wife died mysteriously died at home. The children were first reported missing by their grandparents a month before that. A local investigation grew into an interstate probe that attracted global attention. Oops. Come on now. Vallow's former husband, Charles Vallow, was shot and killed in a Phoenix suburb in July by Lori Vallow's brother. I did not know all this. He claimed the shooting was in self-defense and died that December. The coroner ruled that his death was the result of natural causes, a blood clot in his lungs. Charles Vallow had filed for divorce from his wife. Hold on. Dude. After her previous husband's death, Lori Vallow moved her children to Rexburg, Idaho. So this is, if you guys watch a lot of crime videos, this is a pretty classic the killing of your children. Basically what happens is you get into this new relationship and you don't want the relationship to be spoiled by your children from your previous relationship. So what you do is you get rid of your old children, you murder them, and then of course you inevitably get caught. The children's grandparents asked local police for a wellness check. Oh, man. She was extradited to Idaho and remains in custody on $1 million bail. crazy. I have the milk, son. Everything's gonna be okay. Imagine reading news while ganking Teostra. Easy mode Teostra. Let's get him spanked. How can you die? You have Divine Blessing on. I have an idea to make Lance better in future games. Introduce spiky shields, dealing chip damage to the monsters. Dude, Potato, everyone has a great idea on how to improve Lance because it would be very easy to improve the Lance. They just won't do it. They're like, nah, let's not improve the Lance. Let's leave it the way it is. Dude, that's tragic, man. Smack, smack. It was so obvious that, you know what's so weird about following that story? It's like, everybody already knew that the children was definitely going to turn up dead. Because the parents just wouldn't say where the children were. If you haven't done anything wrong, you go, yeah, the children are over here. And the fact that the mother wouldn't reveal where the children was like the giveaway. It's really terrible. It's like you're just waiting for somebody to admit that they committed a murder. It's so weird when people commit murder. They will lie about it so straight-faced, so hard to avoid getting in trouble for what they've done. It's almost shocking what people will do to avoid getting in trouble. They will lie so perfectly. I would never choose a partner over my own kids. Well, then you're probably like the vast majority of normal people who's never going to kill their kids. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, everyone was just waiting basically for this to break. Daybell and Valo lied about the children's whereabouts and left to Hawaii. How could you have a 17-year-old child that you murder? It's so ridiculous. They're basically already an adult, you know? It's so wicked. Potential Biden running mate Kamala Harris renews pitch for $2,000 monthly payments during coronavirus pandemic. That's right, guys. We all need $2,000 payments. Time for that good UBI. That's crazier than what the other guy was asking for. Yang Gang, he was asking for $1,000 a month. She's like, you know what? That's not crazy enough. We need to do $2,000 a month. Crazy. Susan Rice wants the capital of Washington, D.C. to become a state. The reason that the Democrats want Washington, D.C. to become a state is because they hope to have more electoral college votes, basically, and this would tip the scales in favor of the left every time you have a vote, because Washington, D.C. is very liberal. United States budget deficit widens to 400 billion from 208 billion a year earlier. So yeah, it was just printing a bunch of money. That stupid coronavirus, man. So much news out there. Oh yeah, did you guys hear about this one? J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, she got in trouble with the LGBTQ movement because she said basically that trans women can't menstruate, only biological women can menstruate. So she got in a ton of trouble with that on social media, but it's a fact. That's just how it is. What are you going to do about it? So she's actually quite progressive herself already. You know what I mean? She supports LGBTQ. She went back and said Hermione's black, and she said, Dumbledore is gay. After the books had been written, after her tremendous success, she went back and said those kinds of things. And she's still in trouble because she said only biological women can menstruate. Crazy world, man. Imagine getting in trouble for that. How do you get in trouble for that? I don't even get it. Every kill is just a late abortion. How many hours do you think you've played Monster Hunter World? I don't know. It's something like over 4,000. God Terror Boy says, "Where's my Discord mod? You want to be Discord mod? We can certainly talk about that. You could probably be a Discord mod if you really want to be." How's it going, Dutch? He says, "Looks like they needed a lesson in Austrian economics. If everyone has 2K, then 2K becomes worth nothing. Just saying." Well, yeah, exactly. They made that joke in Futurama a long time ago. That's cool, Steve. Cool Steve's pretty cool. Yeah, they made that joke a long time ago in Futurama when the head of President Nixon said, "All right, we have a surplus. Everyone's getting a $100 rebate on their taxes." And so there's this scene in Futurama, there's this scene right afterwards where everyone has their $100. And you see this guy walk up to, presumably a business owner. He walks up to a sign. It's like candy bars, $3. And you see him hammering a sign over it. And he says, candy bars, $103. And it was quite funny, right? But that's the whole concept, yeah. So people think that the price of goods is just, people don't understand when you increase the money supply, the price of goods goes up. I've tried explaining it on this channel as well, because it's one of those really basic economic ideas that somebody has to tell you for you to get. You know what I mean? You got to hear it for it to click in your head. It's the same idea with when both men and women went to work. People thought, okay, my wife's going to be a full-time worker just like me, the husband. We'll both be full-time workers and have no time for a family, no time for children, and then we'll be wealthy. But actually what happened is, as everyone started doing this, since everyone has more money, the price of everything went up. The price of daycare went up. The price of housing went up. What happens when there's two sets of couples and all four of them work full time and they both want the same house? It turns out that the price of the house just goes up in cost to what those couples can afford. So you and now also your wife work your tails off for a more expensive house, but you're not buying a bigger house than your grandparents bought. The price of housing just went up. That's all that you literally drove the price up by increasing the money supply. So, yeah, it's pretty sad. It's the same idea with UBI. If you just print money and give people money and no service was made to actually create the wealth, it was just printed wealth, nothing's really been made, and one of the responses to that is the price of goods goes up. It's called inflation. The world we live in today is absurd. You could be accused for nothing. That's right. It's the definition of hyperinflation. Well, I don't think we'd have hyperinflation, but, people wouldn't actually be wealthy is all, in my opinion. And if the UBI is going to do one of a few different things. You will either see the government's debt go up, so your government's debt will go up, and then you'll owe more interest, and the value of your government's bonds will be maybe a little riskier because countries will be looking at you going, you already got a lot of debt. Are you sure you can sell more of it? So your country's debt will go up. America, by the way, has a massive amount of debt compared to some other countries like Germany. The other thing that could happen is inflation. So inflation could set in. And then what happens is you think that you're wealthier, but you're not actually wealthier because the price of goods has gone up to match the increase in the supply of money. And the last thing that could happen is, let's say that you're saying, okay, we're going to be able to afford this because of how much we're going to tax the evil wealthy people. Well, the evil wealthy people will go, okay, you're now taxing us so badly that it costs the same to live here than it does to live in a different country, and they will actually consider leaving. I think that genuinely will happen at some point. It just depends on how overtaxed they get, you know what I mean? Probably if you tax them at exactly as much as they get taxed in, let's say, Europe, I think some of them will leave to Europe just to go there, right? Just for fun. And then some of them will leave because they're concerned about the future of America. They're going to be like, well, America's not what it used to be. And then some of them will probably stay, right? So you'll probably lots of them will stay. But let's say you actually brought the taxes up over the price of Europe. And then I think what would happen is a lot of them would be like, well, it's time to go to Europe, man. Why am I sticking around here? Just get extra taxed, right? It's really, the funny thing is about moving around the world, when you're the wealthiest person, when you're part of the top 10%, top 2% of wealth in the world, and you got millions of dollars, it turns out that it's actually very easy to migrate. The people who find it easiest to migrate aren't the poor, it's actually the wealthy. The wealthy find it very easy to migrate. So this idea, oh, we'll just tax the wealthy, it'll be easy. It's like, well, only if they decide that they're okay with being taxed that way. They might decide to leave. And there will be a point where the tax is large enough that they will leave. So those are the three things that could potentially happen and go wrong with UBI is inflation, national debt, and the wealthy decide, hey, wait a second, I'm getting a raw deal here. I'm off to Europe. And really, it's not just Europe. They could just move to wherever place has a better tax rate for them, which is really what they ought to do. You're supposed to move around to a place that offers you a better tax rate. Especially considering it's not like Europe has a much lower quality of living than the United States. It might even be the other way around. Places in Europe might actually have finer places to eat and drink, and they've got beaches too. I guess they're not as good as Miami, Florida, but I don't know, actually, are they? I don't know a lot about Europe, to tell you the truth. Obviously, I don't live there. You guys got some nice beaches over there? Some nice hot beaches? Maybe Spain. I bet you Spain does. Turkey, maybe? I bet you Turkey has some beaches. I grab him by the head. TGC, national debt law that is so last week. Didn't you know there's no such thing? Ask a politician. That's right. National debt is just a made-up idea. You can just indefinitely print money, and you can indefinitely sell bonds to other countries. There'll never be a point where the other countries go, wait a second, we don't want to sell you debt, or we don't want to buy your debt. Sorry, I said that backwards. Yeah, I know how it is, man. The biggest problem, one of the biggest threats to democracy in the modern future, right, like right now, in my opinion, I've talked about this on this channel, one of the biggest threats to democracies is the fact that increasingly politicians have discovered that they can get a group of poor people and just tell them, hey, vote for us, we'll buy you stuff. And you know, places like Amazon actually are also a threat. The fact that he's got like a super monopoly is a scary new time in the existence of civilized society, where one man like Jeff Bezos could be the first trillionaire. Is that okay? You know, like it's a difficult question as well, but it's not like, oh my god, that hurts. God, Terrorboy is happy. He's like, yeah, good. Come on, I'll try and help Crystal here. Aw, just in time for the power prolonger to end, huh? Europe was awesome when I was there in the late 90s. Can't speak to it now, as much has changed. I don't know too much about Europe, but I hope that it doesn't ever change too much. I think that it's really got some pretty fantastic ancient history, and they got to realize what they have and make sure they don't lose it or waste it. You know what I mean? When you take a look at places like the UK, they just by like physical size, the UK is a tiny speck on the planet of the Earth. You know, you got Africa's huge, Latin America's huge, the Middle East is also pretty large, right? It's all pretty large, right? There's a lot of room in these other areas in the world, and the UK really is kind of like Japan in the sense that it's just this island, and that's it. And there's so many people that want to move to the UK, they really ought to be very picky who moves there. Europe was awesome. Is that crack? Europe is still good, but going downhill as well. Yeah, so I think people have to really, I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation. Jennifer says, hi TGC, is there Pokemon cards tonight as well She says tonight a late stream. Hopefully not too late. Actually, I'm probably going to finish this live stream up pretty soon, and then I'm probably going to. Am I going to be able to get this off? Oh, I am. I'm probably going to try and get my Pokemon card live stream out right afterwards. Do you think that America will collapse like Rome? Increasingly, I feel that way. Yeah, I increasingly feel like that's going to happen. And again, I would hope that places like the UK and places like Ireland and Germany and France and all the other European countries are watching real carefully, because if America does collapse like Rome in the 20th century of all times, really you ought to be paying close attention to that and thinking about what that means and what caused it to happen. Because if America collapses like Rome, it actually might be for reasons very similar to why Rome collapsed. People are no longer unified, politicians don't care about the country, everyone's gotten lazy, and you know what I mean? Let's run over here. Oh, and he's running away. It's hard to get things to last, isn't it? I think it's an intergenerational challenge, you know what I mean, to get things to last. Because once the people who made a country really powerful and awesome to live in, they've passed away, they really rely on their children and their great-grandchildren to also keep it that way, you know what I mean? If they're not up to the task, then it's all going to collapse. It's all going to fall apart. Oh my god. But also it's about like political ideas, what works, what doesn't work. I think that one of the things that I'm concerned about the most is increasingly I think that places like Europe and the West are getting away from the idea of a meritocracy. And I feel like that's actually what made us so powerful. You know, you had the Soviet Russia, they were all into whatever socialism, communism, and what was it, East Germany or something like that, they were all into this. And what ended up happening is the industrialized capitalist Western America and Western Europe ends up winning the Cold War, and a lot of the wealth is still over here. There's still more opportunities in these countries than in places like Russia, which is really still struggling pretty strongly financially to this day, still struggling, over reliant on like oil basically. You've got North Korea as another example. China actually changed. They became like a mixed capitalist but also communist country where they say, all right, you're going to operate as if you were in a capitalist society, but we're still the ruling party, the ruling Communist Party of China. So they've got kind of a mixed thing going, and that seems to be working really well for them, which is also a learning moment maybe in America as well. The fact that China's actually becoming wealthy, which nobody talks about. Well, we do talk about it, we're concerned about it, but we talk about it as if they're just a bad guy. It's like, no, they might actually have a legitimate system that's working for them. And that's something that you don't want to talk about in the West. Even while the West is right now kind of, I don't know if would you say that we're struggling? And if we are, what are we struggling with? It feels like we're super divided. America is. I don't know about your country. Maybe your country's doing better. What happens to U.S. citizens if America collapses? Well, the funny thing is, when a country collapses, it'll probably become a much weaker country, and it'll probably be considered smaller countries. So who knows? Maybe America would basically just split into left and right, and just like Rome did exactly the same thing. It became West and East Rome, and there'll be two presidents rather than one, and there would probably be a very, very, very high chance for war, and you would probably see Russia and China step in and kind of try to mitigate as much of the chaos as possible, but make sure that the chaos ends in their favor. And I don't know. I don't know exactly what it would look like, but it would probably not look pretty at all. And the American people would probably become very poor very quickly, which is already feeling like that's the case. Already kind of feels like that's the case. Everyone will try to fight to create a narrative as to why the country collapsed. America pretty much looks like a world on its own. Hold on. America looks like a world on its own most of the time, and I don't mean that in a good way. No government in the USA. Ooh, the UPS man just came. I wonder if that could actually be the PSA cards. We'll see if we got a package or if it's for one of my neighbors. You said enough, cheese. You've got my vote. Legitimately locking people in their own homes is good for the nation. Ever play Division? That's how America will end up. Alright, let's find out if the box is for me. If it's going to a neighbor. I'm expecting a box today or tomorrow. With or without the constant shooting, the South may actually rise again. No, it won't. The South will rise again. No justice, no peace. I think if America collapsed, you wouldn't know that it collapsed. I think that's what would happen. I think basically what would happen is it would collapse in a very quiet way and it will become like a third world country. I think that's what would happen. And the good places to live would be in places outside of America. Or there would be like pockets in America where it's nice to live there, but there's these large swaths of America where you wouldn't want to live. And people would not say that it collapsed, but it will have collapsed. Yeah. I think that will actually be the collapse of America. It will be a very quiet thing. And then other countries like China will become the world power. And you will just see a very different world, basically. I wonder what would be the better choice to live in if America collapses, China or Russia? Skylar says, once Trump gets out of office, I think it'll be a step in the right direction. Cool Steve says, Furious Raging, he's actually talking about the game. Furious Raging is more annoying because people can't last long enough. Yeah, he's pretty tough. Did you all hear about David Dorn and Black Lives Matter not giving a crap about his death, yet they say Black Lives Matter? Clearly, only some Black Lives Matter. Well, yeah, a retired black police chief here in St. Louis got murdered after serving the county and the country, I guess, for 35 years. He's got like 5 children, 5 grandchildren. He's just murdered in cold blood by a bunch of looters. It's really, 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 really hypocritical. And then they justify it. They say, well, we don't get what we want. You know, police brutality, that means we have to go around murdering people. It's like, well, maybe in a uncivilized society where you think that anarchy is the only way to get what you want, maybe that would be true. But you live in a democracy. Well, people will say, oh, it's not a democracy. But you live in a democratic republic. The U.S. has already liked division. There's a 7-block area blocked off in Seattle where police aren't interfering with. It seems like a lot like Occupy Wall Street. Samuel says, if Minneapolis has police defunded, that will be a wasteland. People flee. Well, and that's exactly that's the most unfair part, Samuel. Okay, UPS is dropping by. I didn't get a package. That's the most unfair part. A lot of people in America are hardworking, tax-paying. They don't hate the cops. When the cops tell you to freeze, you don't resist arrest. And generally, the cops are very good people. And when there's been an unarmed death, it very rarely is just the cop going, you know what, I feel like murdering someone today. It's usually an accident, or they're scared, or one of those things, right? Or maybe they've just got bad training, right? So it's usually one of those things. And that's most of the country. But then you get these places in America, they're always a liberal place. It's like a liberal inner city where there's tons of rape, there's tons of theft, and there's tons of murder. So much that it looks like the kind of theft, murder, and rape you would find in a developing or third world country. Really terrible, like ranking up with some of the most dangerous places to live in the world. And we have to send our cops in there every day, and they're supposed to make it nice. And then inevitably they kill a guy like this George Floyd guy died, and the guy kneeling on him obviously killed him. And, you know, pretty much everyone was united in the idea that what happened was wrong and we need to stop it. But instead of just voting to fix the problem, instead of, as a group, you know, the Black Lives Matter group, instead of working on the sympathy of the voter and saying, hey, help us out with this, they say, why don't we just riot and loot? And this is a very, very galvanizing thing to do, because you will have like your hardcore supporters become fanatical and be like, all right, this is it. This is the new world order. But then you're going to have a lot of swing voters and a lot of normal voters, and then voters on the right who are going to say, this isn't the way to do it, guys. This is not the way to do it. And then you're going to lose their sympathy. You're going to lose their vote. And so I guess you could just have a war, I guess. I don't know. Failed to join the quest. What? Oh, it's full. Baltimore is more dangerous than Bosnia. Yeah. Have you guys ever done that? Have you guys ever gone online and looked up the most dangerous cities to live in the world? There's a lot of Latin American countries, presumably because of the drug wars. So those rank pretty high up the list. And then there's American cities kind of sprinkled in there. And it's shocking to actually see that. And what you find out is there's a lot of gang violence in American cities combined with drugs that have been imported into our country. And it's just a very unacceptable level of violence and not just violence but like rape and theft too. You look at it and it's just like where's this place? This is the greatest country in the world, the most powerful country, the wealthiest. You would not think so based on the way people behave. And the other thing, I totally disagree with this part. They will often then just say, the people who live there, they'll say, well, it's systemic this, it's systemic that. You need to give us more welfare. You need to pay for this. You need to pay for that. And I would normally actually agree with these things. You see, I think if I moved to Europe and the taxes were higher and you had to contribute to the system, I'd be like, all right. But that's mostly because the people there are actually, I would say, more unified than we are here in America. There's a lot of anger and hate, and then there's sort of like a demand for more money. And what I really don't understand is who's forcing you to commit a murder? You see what I'm saying? Who's holding a gun to your head saying you have to kill this person or I'm going to shoot you? It's just not how it is. There's certain types of crime where you actually kind of have to commit. You know what I mean? It's not oh, I'm poor, I had to do this because I'm poor. Oh, I'm poor and I'm having a bad day, I guess I'll kill someone. When you're choosing to murder someone, you're choosing to do like the worst crime that's possible as a human, right? Murder, rape's right next to it. When you're choosing to rape some lady, you're making a really serious decision, and no systemic this or that is the cause of it. The cause of it is you. You have to be responsible at some point. Maybe theft, you could be like, well, they're poor, it makes sense, right? I get that. But the murder and the rape, I don't get that. And this way, nobody with money wants to live in the city. And this is what keeps the cities poor in America. Black Lives Matter is nothing more than a terrorist group. Samuel says Chicago 75% unsolved murder rate. Yep, it's run by the Democrats. Cool Steve says, I'm suicide by hunting the Nostra. America is definitely not the greatest country in the world. We got to stop thinking that way. Well, I mean, you could probably argue that. You can make arguments that America isn't the greatest, but then what would you say is the greatest? China? China has the second largest economy, so you could say China's the greatest country. You could say the UK is the greatest country. I mean, it's definitely is a very controversial subject because it's a subject that makes a lot of people uncomfortable right away because it's a subject of superiority. And every time you get into a subject of superiority, it's always like, oh, you're fucking Darth Vader. Oh, you're Voldemort. You're evil. Because that's what basically our media and Hollywood and everything does. They love to beat up on, whatever the powerful state is, and the rebels are the good guys. The underdogs are always the good guys. But who is the most powerful country in the world? And I think some people would still say the United States based on the size of its military and based on its economy, which is still larger than China's. It's like, how many times larger is it than like Britain? Isn't it like 5 or 6 times larger? Or what's that China that's 5 or 6 times larger than Britain? That's the craziest part. You know how, it's not like China's kind of larger than Britain, the UK. China's way larger than the UK. The size of the economy is like 5 to 6 times larger. The UK's in comparison tiny. Somehow. Maybe it's not their fault. Maybe it's just a population thing. Who knows? They got a lot of people in China. But they've been around so long and they've had the advantage of being a capitalist society for so long. You'd think they would have more of a lead, but they don't. Killing someone is very sick as you're ending someone's happy life. Are there any women raping men cases not being reported? I hear that it does happen, but that is actually quite rare, and that something like 98% of rapes are men raping women. There's also a few cases where it's like women raping women, but that also is really rare, especially if you were to categorize it as women penetrating women, which I know it sounds like something funny, like a schoolyard kind of, haha, he or she said this, but no, really, it's a category. So it's like, it's a category, and it almost never happens. I guess you would use an item or something, I don't know. China's economic success is a huge misconception. Is it? You sure about that? Because it is entirely measured by GDP growth, and it is being produced by maintaining a gigantic cash flow in an well, just because they're morally questionable doesn't mean that they're not making that money. You know, if you're just talking about results, and yeah, results are pretty much the only thing that matters, which is probably one of the things that people on the left often don't appreciate is that, you know, you can talk about inequality this, inequality that. At the end of the day, what matters are results. And if China's getting the results, it doesn't really matter how they got the results. I mean, it does, but it does to moralistic people, not the people that understand how power works. It's hard to remove racism when your president is. Rudolph says it is a success, but not as it seems on the surface. I mean, how else do you... There's only a few measures for the success. It's the size of your military, the size of your economy, and how unified your people are. So you could maybe try and figure out how much the people in China are happy with the government. But the thing is, if you're a communist government, as long as you hold on to power, I don't really see what the problem is. That's one of the things. So in a democracy, you will have to worry what people think of you. But in a communist regime, you just go, no, it doesn't really matter what they think. What matters is how big our military is and how powerful we are and how influential we are around the world. So that's one of the distinct things about having a communist regime for your government. It doesn't really matter if you like them or not. It just matters if they're successful. They appear to be. When a man is raped by a woman, nobody gives a shit and tells him to man up. That's why men have just given up on reporting that shit, because nothing comes of it. Oh, and I got thrown off. I'm back. My teacher ain't here yet. LMAO. Take care of everyone. God bless. See you later, Doom. Practical use. Skylar, he isn't racist, just crude. Are you talking about Donald Trump? I actually kind of agree, but actually one of my beliefs is that, well, I don't know. It's definitely it's a tough subject because what are you trying to convince people of that they're going to actually believe? Nobody's going to believe. They just have their own opinion. When it comes to issues like racism, I don't really think there's anything you can say to change people's minds at this point. I think people have their minds made up. It's not even worth arguing with each other. It's one of those things where it's almost like religion and faith. You know what I mean? It's like religion and faith. I think people who have like race beliefs, those beliefs are very similar to like religious beliefs. Safajiva says, everything would be fine if everyone was treated equally. The word race is really meaning different species, not different skin color. Oh my god. Actually, Safajiva brings up a very interesting question here. He says, everything would be fine if everyone was treated equally. You use kind of a key word here. What does it mean to be treated equally? If we were treated equally, wouldn't that mean that everyone pays exactly the same tax rate? That would actually be equality. So if you're earning McDonald's money, you will still pay 20% taxes. If you're Jeff Bezos making gazillions of dollars, you'll pay 20% taxes on your income, and that's it. That would be actual equality. When we have a progressive tax rate, that's inequality against the wealthy. And so the word equality gets used to mean different things. Do you mean equality of outcome, where you kind of force everyone to be roughly the same wealth and success? Or do you mean, like, what do you exactly mean by it? Do you mean everyone's held to the same standard? He walks a thin line and bounces between crude and racism, in my opinion. Trump! He's the best. Safi, we are quite different, though. More than subspecies and wolves. Race has a meaning, but we should treat us fair, not equal. Come on, man. Bring that booty down. Gaming says that and respect. Respect is the biggest thing. Well, I feel like people who need more respect are usually people with low self-esteem, to tell you the truth. You know, I've never actually cared if anyone respected me. It's not something I'm afraid of. I think, in a sense, I actually respect myself because I'm satisfied with the things that I've done in life. And so if somebody else said, oh, I don't respect you, I don't like you, I'd say, oh, tough shit. I don't really care what you think of me. And so when people say, oh, I need you to respect me, I need you to respect me, I need you to respect me, I almost wonder if that's actually a fear about how you fall into the status hierarchy. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a man and you're at the very bottom, maybe you're actually very concerned about your status in society, and this is why you're demanding respect. But, you know, the way respect works, you can't demand respect. People can say, oh, I respect you, to make you feel better, but they don't actually respect you when they say that. They respect you when you've done something. You know what I mean? Like imagine there's two soldiers and one's been in the front lines in battle and he's like he doesn't demand your respect because he doesn't care. He's seen some shit, you know, he's been in the front lines. And then there's another soldier who's never seen combat and he's like, "You better respect me. I'm a soldier." Which one are you going to respect more? The one that you've seen, the one that's seen combat, or the one who's kind of crying for respect? You know, the answer already is going to be the soldier who's actually seen the front lines and done the work. So I think that when people say, "You got to respect me, you got to respect me, you got to respect me," uh, you can keep saying that. I don't think it actually works that way. And people will say, "Yeah, I respect you," just to get you to leave them alone and just to get you to shut up, maybe, and just to get society running again so that people aren't at each other's throats. But do they really respect you, or are they just saying it? You know what I mean? Respect, you've probably heard this before, but respect, you cannot demand it. It has to be earned. You know what I mean? Legalize weed and you can fix the economy in no time. I agree with legalizing weed, by the way. I still don't understand how alcohol and smoking tobacco is legal all these years and weed is illegal. Hey, GE, is that fun doing only clutch claw attacks? It's not bad. It's actually kind of more simple than what I was doing. I have a biracial marriage and I have a son. Oh, that's tough, Jennifer. Dealing with racism. Alan, is a biracial relationship, huh? Alan Joseph says the only time heard of a man being raped was by this girl who lived by me when I was younger. She had sex with this guy when he passed out from drinking and she got pregnant. Oh, geez. Tangaku says, I pollute Earth with my stupidity and I'm proud. Game Enthusiast says, respect as in what you've done, but just as an individual. Not as in. But that's more of a philosophical question about the way you're meant to see the world. Should I tell my, if I have kids, should I tell my kids you should respect everyone? Well, no, because some people are actually going to be uh, low lives, and that's something you're not allowed to say these days. I think that's sort of the what is it like emotional protectionism we have in the modern world. If somebody is a loser, you're not allowed to point to them and say, "You're a fucking loser." You're not allowed to say that. You will get in tons of trouble. Everyone will be upset. I'm living my truth. He's living his truth. She's living her truth. Some people are losers, guys. That's a tough thing to say in 2020, but it wasn't so tough in the 1990s because it was true. And I feel like people weren't so shy about the truth. Some people don't do anything with their life. Some people intentionally just, I don't know, don't really do anything. And we play this game where we're not allowed to offend each other. That's the future. That's 2020. You're not allowed to offend. But it's the truth. And sometimes people gotta hear that. Sometimes people need a slap on the back and be like, get to work, and do something with your life. Do something that you're proud of. But instead, we're telling each other, oh, just respect everyone. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't. Some people are going to go do a bunch of crime and go to jail. Do you just automatically respect them? I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. I look for people's accomplishments. And then I go, I respect that person. They're out there playing the game. They're out there accomplishing shit. And people who haven't really accomplished anything yet, I don't hate them, but they don't automatically get respect. I just go, yeah, you're still green behind the ears. You got some stuff to do. Get out there, go suffer a little bit. Go make some sacrifices. Go commit to something. And go do something with your skills for society. And then I have a little more respect. You know what I mean? So I think actually that idea that everyone's meant to have high self-esteem, that everyone's meant to be given automatic respect, could actually contribute to sort of like these psychological issues we see in the modern media, modern society, modern politics, where everyone's walking on eggshells. Oh, I don't want to offend you. Oh, I don't want to offend you over here. Oh, I'm pro this, I'm pro that. You know what I mean? It almost feels like it's all part of it. It's like, what have you done with your life that is actually respectable? Anything? Right? You had sex with somebody? Amazing. We all want to do that. What have you actually done? You worked at Walmart once? Wow. You know what I mean? And there's people like in the slums in India, and they're like clinging on to life, starting businesses, migrating around the world. They're really accomplishing things. But we live almost like in luxury in a first world country with all this welfare and all this opportunity. And then we get on to like a YouTube channel and say, yeah, we got to respect everyone. You don't got to respect everyone, actually. You can really disrespect people. What are they going to do about it? Well, I guess they can kill you probably, but they're not supposed to, I suppose. You can try to offend me anytime. I can wager you can't. Well, maybe I can't. Raging Bat says, you want to know some fricked up shit? A woman who raped a man, gets pregnant, can sue the rape victim for child support. That's messed up. All right, anyways. Here, let's see if Jesus posted another one.
Hey, you.
One more, guys. Let's get another round in, and then we'll head out. You gotta respect me. I'm gonna start demanding respect. I'm gonna call up that Reddit post. I'll be like, that was very disrespectful. Respect is earned, in my opinion. Well, yeah, exactly. That's why I'm saying you gotta earn respect. Hayden says, the only thing we need to do to solve everything is have great Jaguars as president, to be honest. I love your voice, but I've never been in a stream. I want to say that. Oh, thanks, Brent. Welcome to the live stream. Are you the hacker known as 4chan? What? I blame influencers. They've done more damage than nuclear radiation. Well, actually, that's a really interesting concept, Trevin, because it's something I talk all the time with my wife about, this concept of being an influencer, because I feel like, you know, as somebody running a YouTube channel myself, I've felt a little bit of that myself. You know, I've had some experiences with it, and I realized religion kind of went away, but religion would have been the original influencers. Basically, they go around, you get these priest types, and they're talking about concepts about what is morality, what is ethics, what is civility, what would Jesus do? You know, what would Jesus do, right? And they kind of give society values. You know what I mean? They give society values. And somebody who has no values, you're like an animal in the wild. And somebody with values, you become civilized. And you become, you know, intelligent, you become an intellectual, and you become capable of willing the world into existence, willing the things that you want into your life. You know what I mean? You ever look at like a big city and there's like these huge skyscrapers. You're Amazon's this massive corporation, this machine so much bigger than Jeff Bezos. It's a bazillion times bigger than him. Where did it all come from? Was it just, oh, Jeff Bezos, he got lucky? No, he willed it into existence. Jeff Bezos willed Amazon into existence. He did it with his willpower. And we all benefit from it. As much as we hate him, we go shopping on Amazon, or we go shopping on eBay, or we go shopping on the internet somewhere. So you get these people who become intellectuals, and they become civilized, and they have values, and they see problems, and they're smart enough to fix the problems. And then they just will these things into existence, like YouTube and Google. We take that for granted as people who benefit from it, who live pretty much lives, again, of luxury. You ever heard that idea that we live better than kings did in the past? The poorest people today live better than the kings did in the past, right? You ever hear about ideas like that? You hear somebody say something like that when they talk about the benefits of capitalism in society. They'll be like, yeah, but we live better than kings now. Well, it's true, though, a little bit. Things have gotten so easy for us. And it's all because somebody else, not us, but somebody else willed it into existence. And we just kind of take that for granted. And I think that if you take it for granted too long and you don't contribute, you're just doomed to regress, is what I think happens, you know? I think probably something that would be very healthy for a lot of very overwhelmingly wealthy Americans to do would be to spend some time in a country that's still developing and appreciate how far we've come and realize how easily it could be lost. I think people don't think that way. They don't go, oh yeah, we could lose this all overnight. They really don't think that way. But it's true, you could lose it. Venezuela was a nicer place to live, and they've lost some of their wealth. And people think, well, it couldn't happen here. It's like, it absolutely could happen here. You just don't want to believe it can, because that would be very inconvenient if it happened. And I'm not making an argument, socialism versus capitalism at this point. All I'm saying is that wealth can be lost. And we see this at like a family level. You ever heard of you'll have like a family inheritance that gets squandered? You know, it gets written about in books. Well, it can happen on a societal level. You can inherit a wealthy, powerful country and find out later that it's been squandered. There's none of it left. And the wealth didn't come from the people who live in it now. It came from the past, from the people who were passionate, and they were actually quite respectable, and they suffered. They suffered in order to make it the way that it was, the way that it is. And you're just squandering it, literally. You have no sense of pride of the country. You hate the country almost. Actually, there's plenty of people who hate the country. You get one president you don't like, you think it's the end of the world, you got to burn the American flag. Oh, this will teach him. This will teach Donald Trump if I burn the American flag and desecrate the World War II memorials. This will show them. It's like, no, you're just kind of not that smart, which is actually the bigger concern. When you're not that smart, you're not that smart. That's real dangerous, because it means you're never going to provide an important skill to society and an important skill to the world. Being smart, being skilled, being an intellectual, having values, right? You have to have those things. And if you have influencers on like YouTube, and especially in politics, leaders who are telling you, oh, the system is rigged, oh, you're a victim, oh, you're poor, and the only way you'll be rich is if I give you money, because I'm going to be king of the poor people or whatever, right? You know, if you have influencers telling you that your whole life and you actually buy it, you're just going to be trapped in this victim mentality where you're only as good as the state makes you. You know what I mean? It's just a very dangerous way to be. Oh my god. A much better way to be is to understand that the greatest things in the world were not created by some government system. They were willed into existence by people who are ready to make sacrifices for those things. Smack this guy in the head. Urbanites are incredibly spoiled. They think food grows on the shelves. Oops. Ah, what a bummer. Is he gonna roar? Yes, he is. If we remove the racism in the USA, all is left of people, yes, we have different skin colors, but we bleed the same and have heartbeats. If we, right now, were all the same color skin, you would still have the issue of murder and rape in the inner cities, which is, you could try to make the argument that part of that is, oh, it's poverty, but I don't remember myself when I was poor. I don't remember the urge to murder people. I especially don't remember the urge to rape women. So that is a much more serious issue, and it is kind of an issue of values. Once again, you have to have a value where you say, I'm not going to murder my fellow man, and I'm not going to rape women. And if you can't get away from those faults, people are going to move away from you, and you're going to be like, why am I so poor? Because all the people with money don't want to live next to you. The whole point of them having money, this is the funny part, the whole point of them getting rich is so that they can specifically move away from you. They're trying to get rich enough to move away from the murder. That's the whole point. You know what I mean? People are like, oh man, I got to move into a good home. What does that even mean? Well, it means moving to the areas where the crime rate is low. That's the whole point of it. Got to move into the safe places. Got to move next to the beach in a low crime area. You know what I mean? That's the whole reason people get rich. Is he coming down? Bring him down. Come on, Tealstra. Arch-tempered carrier ant for president? Oh my god. Every monster is straight up murdering my squad. Better be flashing him. Don't you love seeing his body fall out of the sky? You can follow the destruction of a nation by the hands held outward by the dead and dying. What? Alright, my teacher is here. Bye. See you later, man. And he's gone. Nice job, guys. Before he could escape to the nest. 743. Thank you. The knowledge you possess is vast. Fast knowledge. I am the wise, all-knowing Gameconomist. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not rape thy fellow neighbor's wife. Wow, that's some complicated stuff, man. Oh, I didn't think of that one. Yeah, so we'll have a society where we don't murder each other. Wow. Have they tried this around the other? No, they haven't tried it, man. It's a brand new idea. Look at these slices, man. What's the time in the USA? Where I live, it's 7:44 p.m. Dinner time. Actually, it's Pokemon card stream time. Let's gather this. I'll take a short break, and then I'm going to have my card stream, okay, guys? And by short break, I mean 12-hour break. Actually, what if we skip today's card stream? You guys want to skip today's card stream? I'm going to skip today's card stream. It was a little slow yesterday. People probably a little burnt out. We've done a lot of card streams in a row. So we're going to take a break today. We'll be back on tomorrow, I think. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go shopping for... I haven't gone shopping for food in a long time. I have like no food in my fridge. So I'm going to take the day off. I'll let people know in the card channel that we're taking the day off. We'll be back on the card stream tomorrow. Hayden says, thanks for the talks and the streams. No problem, Hayden. You guys all got to go out there and get wealthy, okay? And so when you become millionaires, you can remember me and buy me a boat. All right. I'm going to thank Tree, who was Cheez-It. I'm going to thank Cheez-It for sponsoring the stream today. I hope he got what he was looking for. I think he was getting some Teostra parts for, if I'm going to guess, probably Master's Touch. And then also he picked up, hopefully, the parts he needed from Raging Brachydios. If you're hoping to sponsor a stream as well, you could always contact me about that. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Buenos días. Hola.